On this edition of the Tuesday night live show, we've got a ton of books to show. We've got Star Wars original art. We've got an AOK unboxing from my friend MrGretzky9966. And for some reason, I don't really know why, I've decided to send a bunch more books to CGC. Everybody loves graded books, so we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight, so stay tuned. Hey, what's going on, guys? We're back here with another Tuesday night live stream. And like I said, we got books on books once again, as usual. And then definitely curious to see what my good friend Mr. Gretzky has sent me as an AOK. I did open the box just so you guys wouldn't have to watch me play around with knives and scissors and all that stuff. Who wants to see that? And then we're going to show a bunch of stuff today, so we kind of got to get right into it here as people join in. So I'm just going to start rapid firing the book so we can kind of get things going here because there's a lot to show. So basically my local shop, he still has his classic Comic Monday or whatever you want to call it, old Comic Monday. And he's just been hooking up the dollar deals, the occasional bundles here and there. So we're going to show a bunch of dollar books here. If I didn't pay $1 for it, I'll definitely notate that from the side. But before I get started, I do want to say, hey, yo, to Chris Barrett. He's bringing the bad news in the chat. How you doing, Barrett? Nice to see you tonight in the chat. He says, I like seeing people playing with knives. Don't ask, or will tell. I can't say I'm entirely surprised by that for whatever reason. But we're showing some books here. First up for $1, Batman the Outsiders. This is issue number 5. I just really like the George Perez cover on that one. Very beautiful, underrated cover I've not seen before. So for $1, nice clean copy. Still doing some run filling on the Bronze Age Doctor Strange stuff. They had issue 35 that wasn't completely tore up, so I threw it in my stack. Nice copy of the Hulk 253. At least nice for $1. It does have several spine ticks, but hey, it was $1, just like 252 was, which is an even better condition. So couldn't pass that up. Figure it would have been dumb too. Just like Thor 282 for $1. Got those in those nice Mylars that people love. Run filling and Daredevil as well. You get Danny O'Neill and David Mazzucchelli on this issue, so I was very happy to find it. But yeah, trying to fill up this run as well. It's one of the few like bronze Marvel runs I'm still going after for whatever reason. Mighty Avengers 253. I keep finding myself drifting back toward these like bronze and copper Avengers just because I keep finding them. So I'm like, they're in mostly decent condition when I do. So for $1, once again, I feel like I would just kick myself for leaving these. Here's issue 182, 35 center. We got issue 208. We got issue 226 as well. Like I said, I'm trying not to run fill the Avengers, but my collection of Avengers books it's starting to get kind of bigger than I thought it was going to get. So yeah, I will see where that goes. We got Justice League of America 253. The origin of Despero, so I thought that was a cool issue, and like I said, it's in pretty good condition for $1. So we got the House of Mystery 264. So usually don't get the House of Mysteries past like the 12 and the 15 centers, but it was the only one they had for $1, so I figured why not. Chris says, might have some Bronze Age books you might want or need. Yeah, definitely let me know. I'm interested to see what you got, Barrett. Crypt of Shadows 17. We said the DC stuff around this time was great, so why not get the Marvel as well? Here's kind of a rare cover. G.I. Joe versus Transformers #1. This is a Graham Crackers Comics variant. I believe a very early Mark Brooks cover. So I thought that was a really cool find for $1. Remember reading this Image G.I. Joe stuff back in the day. Basically building up all this low-key stuff. The show's on, so I know people are going after this stuff. So for $2 a piece, I got Loki's issue 1 through 3. I think this was the 2017 run. One of the sets my local shop was selling for 3 issues for $6. Got these from Half Price Books. getting these Agent of Asgard. So I got issue number 7, found an issue 4, an issue 5, and then an issue number 6. So happy to find those for $1. The funny thing, like, I think these books are just meant to be in my collection. I just recently sold my couple copies I had of this to JB Discovery Bay Comics, and then literally the day I had them mailed off, I found these for $3 a pop. So I got a better copy that I had of Masters of the Universe #1, the DC version. So I can kind of tell, feeling the top, this could use a pressing. It has some like warping issues on top, like, and that's how you know they could hopefully be pressed out. Like, they don't really show on the webcam, so that's a good sign, I suppose. And then a much better copy from what I had previously of issue number 2. So I guess I'm happy with that. I don't know why they were only like $3, but I'm like, I would kick myself for leaving these, even though like I literally had them out of my collection for one day. Just like this book, like, I keep finding this book. I sold it like a couple claim sales ago. I do have a better copy signed by Joe Staton for my collection, but for $3, I wasn't going to leave this laying either. Just All-Star Comics 69, first appearance of Helena Wayne Huntress. So not the greatest quality copy of this, but it's still a great book to have in anybody's collection. Here's another $1 one, Green Lantern 51. It's one of those books I buy every time I see it. Love this Kyle Rayner Green Lantern because this is pretty much one of the first Green Lantern books I ever bought as a kid. A very nice copy of Weird Wonder Tales, issue number 12, quarter issue. Only has a couple spine ticks on it. You would think this just came out last week. It is so, like, the colors on it, even though it's a black background cover, like those red and yellows really come out. So that was great. Got a couple Whitman variants. I don't even know. I had these numbers written down. I completely forgot to bring that little note, but here's a Superman Whitman. I think these are from 1978. Around when the movie came out, of course. More and they were doing a lot of the Whitman variants, of course, and then an Action Comics Whitman as well. So usually when I see these Whitmans, they're just half destroyed for whatever reason. I'm guessing it has a lot to do with they were probably distributed, in grocery stores and such instead of, in the late 70s. There weren't too many local shops, obviously. So the Whitmans, usually, at least around here in Indiana, aren't the best condition. So these aren't these aren't near mint, but they're better than I'm used to for Whitmans. Let's just say that. We got some Marvel Triple Action 45 classic X-Men reprint on there. Once again, very high quality condition for $1 on that. Raven the Bold 25-cent double sizer. I wasn't going to pass that up for $1. Same for this. It could be in better condition. It's probably in the good to the good range, but Wonder Woman 195, 15 center. Slowly building up that collection too. It was $1. It's beat up, but I still think it's a fun book to have in the collection. That's Transformers #8, first Dinobots. I said there's a part of the cover missing at the very bottom. It's been loved, but for $1, I was happy to put this back in my collection. Paid $5 for this, but I didn't have this particular issue. Even though I have a ton of X-Men from the Claremont era, I was missing this issue, and that's 162. I got so many good deals that day, I decided, why not go and pay $5 for this one? It's decent enough condition for a Dave Cockrum X-Men that I didn't hate paying $5 for it. I kind of doubt, wish it was 2 or 3, but hey, like I said, I got hooked up on the deals that day, so I didn't mind. This one has a spine split that goes all the way to almost the entire cover. I don't even know how it's hanging on, but somehow this presents really well for a 12-cent Justice League issue. This is Justice League issue 11, and just in this Mylar bag, as if you didn't look at the book up close and take it out of the bag and look at it, this would look like a much better quality copy than what you would think. So at the very least, I'm just happy with that. But the cover is separated pretty much off of the comic up until the top third of it, just where that top staple's at. It's really all it's holding it together by a thread. So immediately upon inspecting this book, I kind of just needed to leave it in the bag and go from there. But it was $1. I'm not going to pass that one up. Or maybe it was $5. I can't remember. Either way, it was cheap for what that book is, in my opinion. The two splurge purchases this particular trip. I think this one was $15 and this one was $35. So I'll start with the $15 one. It does have some shipping on the cover, but I did need it for my Doctor Strange run from the early Bronze Age, and that's 183. I believe this is the last issue, kind of before all the Frank Bruner, Steve Englehart stuff came in. So anytime I can get these Doctor Strange around the 180s and such, I'm probably going to pull the trigger on it, especially when they're in fairly decent condition. Besides the chipping, the comic's in really good shape, in my opinion. And then, like I said, this is the ultimate splurge purchase. I think it's like $35 for this, but I don't see this often at all. Strange Tales 130, where the Human Torch and the Thing meet the Beatles. In my opinion, in terms of Strange Tales, are a great cover that's, iconic outside of the Steranko stuff. So very happy with that. We'll keep rolling here. He had another great bundle that I wasn't particularly looking for this book, but it was almost like $2 a copy. So I ended up getting Once and Future issues 1 through 16, all first prints for like $30 basically. So actually, yeah, it was even less than $2 an issue, including a first print of issue 1. Now, I don't think this was a perfect copy of issue 1. It has 4 spine ticks total on it. But for first print, and I think issue 7 does have some demand as well. Issue 7, I'll just show that one. I'm not going to show all of them because, we don't have time for that. Issue 7's in really nice shape, too. So I think this was like the start of the second arc, and it was very low print run. So, yeah, decent read. Did read it on Modern Men, and I was happy to find that for $30. So will I hang on to that for $30, that many issues? We'll see. I did get an eBay lot. So I think I had a $10 coupon that expired May 31st. I needed to buy something off eBay. So after taxes, shipping, this whole lot cost me $40. I think I got a pretty solid deal. So I got Batman 314. We got Batman 367. Once again, these are all new issues to me. I do not have them in the collection. 381, just like that evil Batman with that sinister goatee. We've got 429. I'm pretty sure I already got a copy of this. So we'll see what I do with this copy. If anyone needs it, I guess let me know. Legend of the Batman issue number 2. I think I actually had this as a kid. And that was one of the first Batman comics I ever had, and it was all beat up. So happy to get a nice quality copy of that. And then they had books 1 through 3 of Jim Starlin and Bernie Wrightson's The Cult. So this is on my reading list at some point. I've heard great things. Plus, it's Jim Starlin and Bernie Wrightson. Like, you can't go wrong there. And then the main reason I bought this lot, this book right here pays for the whole lot. And maybe then some. I don't know what it sells for nowadays, but it's a phenomenal book. If you like Batman, you should own this book, in my opinion. That's The Killing Joke. Got a first print of it, so basically the whole lot was $40, and in my opinion, this issue alone was worth the entire lot by itself. And my only other copy is graded, so now I have a reader copy from the original. And I know we can get the hardcovers and the reprints, but they've recolored all of that, and sometimes you just want to read the original. Then the last stack, and then we'll get into some of the other, special attraction stuff for tonight, I guess, if you want to call it that. I do need to bag and board this whole stack. So here's my just normal pickups, and a lot of this was cover buys, and I'll be honest, I haven't had a chance to read as much as I want. I feel like I say that every live stream now, but I've been trying to, keep up with my workouts, work 50 hours a week. I'm actually still playing Mass Effect. I'm on part 3. So that's been an endeavor into itself. So just trying to get all these video games played. But yeah, here's the books. X-Men 20. Really fun cover on this one. The Mike Del Mundo variant of just Mystique making copies of herself as other people. So pretty sweet cover there. Got Blue Flame Adventure Magazine. Dave Stevens Rocketeer swipe. So always like that cover. Figured don't see too many swipes of that. So I picked that up. This Nightwing cover, second print of 79, was pretty fun, so I picked that up. Still haven't read this. This will be my read for tonight. Ninja Turtles 117. Got the Eastman B cover for Pride Month. And in my opinion, the best cover of the Eastman run that I can remember in recent memory. I think this one's going to be one the collectors go after at some point. It's already going, like, being offered up for like $20 on eBay. So, yeah, if you see it, get it. I think it's a great cover. I'll let you guys know what I think of the story at some point. I'm definitely going to read that. Same thing for Nice House on the Lake. Haven't had a chance to sit down and read this yet, but this is definitely one I want to read when I get time. So that's going on a special pile there. Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. I don't even know what this is. War of the Bounty Hunters. That's why I hate these variant Marvel covers sometimes. They just put the name on the cover. Like, come on, man. But War of the Bounty Hunters #1. This has been, the special was interesting. I hope that's more of the same quality. Basilisk #1. Can't go wrong with Cullen Bunn. And then it got Milestone Returns, so we'll see what the hype is in this one. They have been hyping Milestone coming back for what I feel like is half a decade now. So they finally got a book out with the word Milestone on it. Hopefully they do it justice. Something is Killing the Children 16, the Erica Slaughter origin issue. This book is on fire right now in general, so I had to get that. Back to a couple dollar finds. I got Morbius #1 still in the poly bag. Actually, I think these next ones were 20 centers from Half Price Books. Needed another copy of Gen 13.5. I think this will complete a second set of Gen 13s for me. Maybe actually technically a third set, something like that. Anytime I can get these in high grade, I've been picking them up for 20 cents. An Action Comics 648. So still getting those for 20 cents. Cover #1, Bendis and Mac. I don't know why I got that. It was a good quality copy. Action 662. Had this one as a kid. This is an upgrade copy for me. Picked up, unfortunately, I didn't have issue 3, but they had issue 1 and 2. So I tried to get another set of these Serenity Better Days. Adam Hughes covers on those. Pretty much like the second time, I believe, Firefly / Serenity was put in a comic book form, at least by Dark Horse. Adventures of Superman 431, another Jerry Orroy cover. This may be a second or third copy for me, but it was not a tick on it for 20 cents, so I got it. Cool Dustin Wynn cover on Detective 841. 665 Action Comics. Daredevil #7, just a phenomenal Daredevil story. It's a good single issue read. I'm probably just, if I sell something and someone buys something off me, I'm probably just going to throw this in randomly in someone's lot of books because this is just a great read. In general, one of Mark Waid's best single issues, in my opinion. We got Bodies #1. I haven't heard of this book, but I saw Tua Lote's name on it and a bunch of other cool artists, so I decided to pick it up for 20 cents and check it out. Fade Out #1. Good Ed Brubaker, Sean Phillips read. Wasn't going to leave it in there for 20 cents. We got Bitch Planet, Kelly Sue DeConnick. Supposed to be one for better books. Firestorm 44. Just a nice quality copy of that, 20 cents. Justice League 34. Really nice Adam Hughes cover on that one. So there you go, Adam Hughes. I think this one was $1 from my shop. Got Craven #1. Spectacular Spider-Man 223 die cut cover. I paid $3 for this Alpha Flight #1. I think yesterday I got this one. It's a newsstand copy, so I think it goes with my direct edition I already had. And then more dollar ones I need to bag up that I just got yesterday. Justice League 250. We got Astonishing Tales 28. Really needs a press, but otherwise it was a good quality copy. G.I. Joe 32. People have been going crazy over this one because it's First Lady J for some reason. So $1. Figure I may as well get that. Hulk 208. Mystery in Space. Really sharp copies of 112 and then a 111 as well. I told them, if you see any turtles, man, you got to let me know. So I got Turtles Adventures #8. I believe this is technically the first appearance of Wingnut and Screwloose. So happy to have that. Trying to get all these like oddball turtle first appearances, and this was definitely one I needed. And then the last two books. We got The Last Ronin issue #3. Very good read still. It sucks that we got to wait 3 months in between, but let's face it, if they all just came out within like a couple weeks or months of each other, we'd probably already be done with it and we're still talking about it today, and we're going to continue to talk about it for the next, 6 months or so. So I guess give them credit where credit's due. We're going to be talking about this one for a while. So I may go more in depth on this later. But yeah, another solid copy of Last Ronin. And then the last book, I bought this on chance it may be an upgrade for me. And it was just, I saw it started low. And it was one of those eBay best offer situations where I send my typical, like, if you have a best offer, you better believe if I see it and can do a low ball offer, I'm going to give it one shot, because why not? You got the best offer up. And yeah, I took it, and the person only offered $5 more. So I ended up getting another copy of the 5th print of Turtles #1. I still think the one I have and acquired within the last couple months is probably a better copy. This one has a few spine ticks and some, wear and tear down the side, as you can see there on the camera focus. But still, in my opinion, well worth what I ended up paying for it. No problem. Yeah, I definitely think this is the much better cover than the 4th print. Obviously, you can't match the 3rd print, 2nd print, 1st print. But if you can't have those, I think this is the book you probably would want to have. The 4th print, still a great book to have. I just prefer this cover over the other one, in my opinion. So that's the books I got. Now it's time for everything else that I've hyped up in the title. We got the Mastodon. What's going on, Don? 1 second. Now, if you haven't checked out the Mastodon on his Instagram, you got to go over to his Instagram. Check out his story feed, whatever you want to call it. He wants to know what your top 3 albums of all time are. So I'm still trying to think of mine. I think I got 2 of my 3 picked. I just need to pick that 3rd one. So definitely go over to the Mastodon's channel. Not only does he cover his comics, he's got some great music topics as well. And I always like hearing people's top albums of all time as well, just because, like, comics is one thing. We can talk about how much we like DC and Marvel and Image and so on and so forth. But when it comes to music taste, opinions are all over the place more than it would be comics. So the conversations can get very interesting there. So check out the Mastodon's comics and music's channel and Instagram. Like I said, I still need to let him know my top 3 albums. But, oh yeah, I did have one more pickup technically. I found this at Walmart today. So I'm not getting into these Marvel Legends figures. I've got enough vices going on that I don't need to get into these. I've been avoiding these and the Star Wars Black series just because, like, they're great figures, and it'd just be more to pile up in this room that I can barely even walk in at this point. But there was one figure I've been looking for from the Marvel Legends series, and I actually found it today, and that is the House and Powers of X Jean Grey Marvel Girl. This is really the only one I wanted in the newest set, and it comes with the Sentinel leg. So I guess, Drew Manchu, if you're watching, let me know if you need a Sentinel leg, because I plan on unboxing this, and I don't need that leg. I'm not going to get the whole set. So very happy to find this in the wild finally. The rest of the figures have come and gone. I literally saw every other figure in this line except for this one. I don't know if this is like everything was 2 in a box, and then this was the 1. But some reason Walmart today was literally, this was the only one on the shelf at all. So happy to have that. I'll be taking that out and putting that in the pile of gimmicks back there. All right, so got a package here from my pal MrGretzky9966. So pal Matt reached out to me about a month ago and asked my address. I'm like, you don't have to. He's just like, here, just send me your address. So I did. So he sent me a package last week, and unfortunately I got busy, and this is the time I've had. So I just took a small peek in there. Don't know what's in here. So who knows what to expect. But first I want to see what Don says. He says I have about a dozen. That's probably a dozen too many. All right. So let's see what we got from Mr. Gretzky. Looks like he sent a whole variety of things here. So probably what takes up the most space in the box here. We got some Avengers figurines. So these will definitely be getting unboxed and going in the display behind me. Usually anytime someone sends me like figurines and stuff like this, those look pretty cool, man. So thank you. I'll definitely be putting them either in there, or as you can see by some of the stuff behind me there, that Slimer came from Fish Tropic, for instance. And I know there's got to be something from Bake the Snake back there. I just can't remember which one. Oh, yeah, the turtle tiki glasses. That's right. So, yeah, these will definitely be hidden all over the display behind me there. So we got that. Let's see what else we got. Oh, man, this brings back some memories. So I don't know what the year on these are, but it's just kind of funny he sent these. It's a keepsake Star Wars ornament. My whole family, when I was a kid, we used to like buy a keepsake ornament or two like every year. So this will definitely be going on my tree this year. So that's awesome. I love those keepsake ornaments. Let's see what else we got here. That's cool. It's more figurines. Looks like got a loose package here. We got a Nightwing. Pretty sweet there. So definitely, once again, these will be hidden all throughout the room on display. Looks like he might have included another one. We got some Damian Wayne Robin action right there. So once again, he'll be hanging out with his buddy Dick Grayson, just like that Grant Morrison, Frank Quietly Batman and Robin run that is vastly underrated. So those two will be going together. And no, don't. Oh man, that is that's awesome. So we have a championship racing car. It is a Sting WCW NASCAR. It's a 1/64 stock car. I love Sting, as everybody knows. So he's not in the rafters yet, but we have his NASCAR at a 1/64th scale. So I'll probably put this with the turtle vans that were sent to me. That is awesome. That's really cool. And it looks like we might have some. Looks like maybe some Burger King figures. So we got some Simpsons Burger King figures still in the package there. There's a zombie Homer. That is amazing. We've got a Pumpkin Apu. And then there's one more. This is the last thing in the box. Looks like we have a Lisa and Snowball 2. And Lisa's dressed as a ghost. So some amazing stuff there. That is awesome. Yeah, I'm definitely not worthy. Please, no one send me anything. But big thanks to Mr. Gretzky for this awesome treat. This was amazing, man. So thank you so much. Like I said, I'm definitely going to unbox these on my own time and plant them in random spots once I can find spots for them. So awesome stuff, that's for sure. All right, so we're going to talk about some Star Wars art next. And let's see what the chat is saying. Chris and Mastodon are talking. I want to see what they're saying here. Chris says, the last time I heard someone say that, didn't need Eddie Vice's Razor Ramon fell off the wagon. Mastodon says, my parents got a Chewbacca keepsake years ago when I was a kid. The reasons I won't divulge here, LOL. I had that same keepsake ornament. The one that haunts me to this day is, I think it ended up at my brother's house or something, but the one keepsake that was my favorite was the Millennium Falcon. It lit up, you plugged it into the lights and everything. It was sweet. It even made the sound that, when it hits light speed, and it's great. Of all the keepsake ornaments, I pretty much have all the ones from when I was a kid. I just inherited them because I can keep a clean house. I usually host the family Christmas, so therefore I get all of the ornaments. No one knows where the Millennium Falcon went. Of all ornaments to lose, they've lost the Millennium Falcon. So yeah, that's the one I'm a little bitter about, I got to be honest. So May the 5th was obviously a while ago, and I don't know why I just forgot to show these last live stream or two. That and did take a minute to get these shipped, I'll be completely honest. But artist by the name of Damian Torres has an Instagram at Damian Torres. He had a really cool May the 5th sale where he just had like 8 or 9 just kind of quick sketches he did. I think these are 11 by 14. And he was just selling sketches for $30. There's pre-done sketches, and it was the end of the day, and I had to work late. I'm like, man, that'd be pretty sweet to be able to get like at least one of these for $30. So I reached out to him and instant message like, hey, you got any of those Star Wars sketches left? He's just like, I haven't really sold any. I'm like, really? So I was like, can I have those 3? And he's like, you got it. And then I just immediately paid him, and he only charged me like $5 to ship them all. So I got these like pretty cool 11 by 14 Star Wars sketches that, shame on me, I still need to get the frames for. But there is a Han Solo, and like I said, these are $30 a piece. And they're not inked or anything. Obviously, he made them up, and I think he was eventually going to ink them, and instead he's just decided to sell them for cheap. So it'd be cool to like get with an inker at some point and get these filled in, because they, in my opinion, they look pretty awesome as is. But maybe that little bit of extra ink would go a long way on them. And then there's the Princess Leia. So once again, 11 by 14, $30. And then the last one, probably my favorite because it is my favorite Star Wars character, Obi-Wan from Episode 3. So I think this one was the most well done one in my opinion, even though maybe that, or I don't know, it's kind of hard to pick between him and Han Solo, but very happy with these 3 sketches. They'll be going up on my wall downstairs because I'm completely out of room in this room here, but very happy with those. So that's the art I collected. I do have a few pieces of art and commissions going now, so hopefully in the next couple of months I'll have some more original art back, but I feel like I haven't really had a lot of original art come through in 2021 just yet. So I was extremely happy to finally get something this year because I feel like it's been a little while, and I know I have at least, I think, 2, maybe 3 pieces going right now. Sometimes just so much time passes when you make that request, you kind of just forget, unfortunately. All right, so let's see. Chris says, I still like the Burger King toys from the Simpsons movie. I was going to make a Jake Roberts joke, but wrote low-hanging fruit. All right, so for the last segment, for some reason, like I said, I don't know why, the delays are insane at CGC right now, but I kind of just got it in my head yesterday. I'm like, I've had this pile of books just sitting on my nightstand and on shelves and everything, trying to decide what I'm going to send, and they just keep sitting there collecting dust. So I'm like, well, you know what? Like, at the end of the day, like, they may as well just be sitting in CGC's nightstand, shelves, whatever, collecting dust, and maybe they'll get graded a little faster that way. So I decided to send another stack of 20 books to CGC just because, like, what are they going to do here compared to just sending them off? So I just sent them off. They already went, so I at least took pictures of what I sent so I could talk about the books, why I sent them, and what grade I think they're going to come back. So bear with me. We're going to be a lot of clicking around because StreamYard still has some improvements they can make. So the first book I decided to send, this was like the main one I wanted to send. Daredevil 168. This was actually a gift from my brother like maybe 15 or so years ago. It's in really nice condition. First Electra, of course. And what did I think this is going to get? I think I put this, at a respectable 8.5. I think it could go higher, but I'm trying not to get my hopes too high. I just feel like CGC is grading pretty strict right now, and they're seeing a lot of the same books come through with keys and such. So I would like to go 9s on this one. I'm going to hold back judgment and put it at an 8.5 just so I won't be super disappointed. So, but I think that's going to come back a good grade. I really hope it does. Staying on the Daredevil theme, had to send this one as well. Daredevil 131. First appearance of the modern version of Bullseye. It is a newsstand edition, which those were more common when this came out, of course. But I still kind of like that yellow newsstand, the yellow background, the way all that looks. So I got this off a steal the deal on eBay, one of those best offer situations. Chris Barrett's making all. Chris, it'd be sweet if you were right, buddy. He's guessing all 9.8s in the chat. But I'm gonna just go 9. Or let me change that here. I'm gonna go 8.0. Because once again, there aren't too many flaws that I could see on this one. The non-sharp corner here and there. But yeah, I think I'm going to set this one at an 8.0 just to be on the safe side. Because like I said, I don't have a ton of grading experience. I haven't got my first round back yet to see how much I missed the ball on those. So I'm not going to make some crazy like 9-8 guesses like Chris is in the chat. But hey, Chris, if you're right, thumbs up, buddy. All right, next one. This one kind of had to go out of there too. I only paid like, I think 35 or $40 for my copy. So either way, I think I'm going to get, my money's worth out of getting this graded. X-Men 266, first appearance of Gambit, of course. You can't really tell on this photo here, but there is like a hairline color breaking bend where it says Enter the Mutant called Gambit at the bottom. But like I said, you can't even tell on this picture, so it's very minuscule, and that's the only reason my shop wasn't selling it for much more than he did, because he wanted to sell it low because he was concerned about that bend on the front cover, which, as you can tell by this, like you can barely even see it's there unless you call it out and look at it up close. So because of that, I'm still going to put it in an 8.5. The spine, in my opinion, looks pretty good. There's not too many imperfections I see just looking closely at the rest of the book. So once again, I'd hope for 9s, but I don't know how much they're going to impact that hairline color break on the corner there. So we'll see. But I'm going to go 8.5. Hopefully it doesn't hurt too bad. So next up, let's get that out of there. We're going to go Star Wars 42. So I got this one about a bunch of, like a huge lot of Star Wars books, maybe about a year and a half ago. $2 a pop. Main reason I wanted it, it came with a Star Wars #1, which I'm still debating on what to do with that book because I don't know if it's been waterlogged or what have you. Not a color break or stain on the thing, but it is wavy as all can get out. So it's probably going to need a little bit more care than CCS would offer. So I might look up a community presser and, kind of let them know the situation, see if they think they could do a miracle on that book. But in the same lot for, like I said, it was $2 a book. And I've sold most of the rest of them at this point. I kept the Empire Strikes Back ones. So this was obviously the other gem in the lot, Star Wars 42. Luckily, this one was not waterlogged whatsoever. Pretty nice condition. I think there was like a dull edge or two on this. But if you look at the corners and stuff, it presents real nice. But because of, the edges could be a little sharper, and since it's Copper Age, I guess late bronze, I'm still going to sit it at an 8.5. That way, if it comes back 9 or up, I'll be very happy. All right, let's go to the chat real quick before we go to the next book. We got some more grade guesses here. Chris Barrett says, if I'm right, I just want to cut out the profits. Most of these won't be for sale, but I guess you can have 0% or $0 of profit, buddy. So there you go. Chris says 266 gets a 9.6 and a 9.6 for Star Wars as well. Mastodon looked at that Daredevil 131. He's going 9.0. Mastodon says, I can see it. You may be accurate on that grade. There's stickers on those color. Yeah, they are sticklers on those color breaks. So we'll see. Like I said, yeah. Let's go to the next book here. This one, it stayed in the collection. This was my 20 cent. Actually, it might have been 50 cents. Either way, it's a 30-cent difference. 50 cent or less find on this ghost of a book. Superman 52nd print newsstand. There are not a lot of these in circulation. So I was very happy to find this copy for basically nothing. I'm going 8.0 on it because it had never been bagged or boarded until I found it, I'm pretty sure. And honestly, I can't remember if this was in the group I'm having pressed or not pressed. I think this is one I was just going to have graded. And I'm just going to keep the slab because this is one of the first Superman covers I remember getting besides the Death of Superman, Reign of Superman stuff. I wanted more Dan Jurgens Superman, so this is one of the first books I ended up getting because it's the engagement issue between Clark and Lois, which was a big, huge deal back in the day. So, yeah, I don't even care what this comes back. It's probably going right in my glass case downstairs. Yeah, I'm going 8.0 on it. The next one I'm aiming for the stars on, or at least one of the stars. Batman number 357. First appearance of Killer Croc, first appearance of Jason Todd, and it's a newsstand on top of it. I think I paid $45 for this book, which is usually more than I would pay for most books I'm not super fond of, like a Turtles book or what have you. I do like me some Jason Todd. He's just not very high on my totem pole of Robins. Obviously I like, most of the Robins better, it's a double threat with Killer Croc's first appearance, and it's a newsstand in the Copper Age. But the other reason I bought this is it was in pretty immaculate condition. If there's an error or any type of color break, I'll be honest, I completely missed it. I'm holding the line at 9.4. I could have went higher, but like I said, there could be something I missed. It's not a modern age, it's a copper, so I'm just holding it 9.4. I kind of hope they respect the age of the book, what it is, the fact that it's a newsstand, and maybe give it a bump higher than a 9.4, maybe go 9.6, 9.8. But just the fact that I don't want to completely disappoint myself, I'm just going to hold it at a 9.4. But I really, really hope this goes 9s. I think it definitely will. Next up, we got a classic book the whole community just drools over at this point. G.I. Joe 21. This one I bought in a pack of G.I. Joes. My store was selling them like 10 at a time. I think it was like 10 G.I. Joe books for $15, and this happened to be one of them. So it was packed in. I think before my owner got his hands on them, these were never bagged and board either. So it does have a couple. I think I counted maybe 4 spine ticks total. They're pretty small, especially for a kid's book in the 80s. Let's be honest. That's what it was. So these books do get manhandled or kid handled quite a bit, I guess you could say. I'm going to hold it at an 8.5. I really do hope it gets in that mid-8s range or up. Once again, phenomenal issue. I did debate sending this just because I do like the read. And I sold my reader copy for like $10 a while back. And some people may think I kicked myself on that. It was a reader copy. It was all beat up. Like, I don't even know if the cover was attached, to be honest. So, yeah, I didn't mind selling that one off. I was getting rid of doubles at the time. But I really do hope this one comes back at a decent grade. We got another stealth bike coming up. Young Avengers, #1. This is one of those ones I may end up. I'm debating if I want to sell this later down the line because I at the end of the day, like, everyone's speculating on these characters. I've just enjoyed this read for years. I think it came out 2005, and I've pretty much enjoyed this book since I read it in a hardcover in the mid-2000s. So this book does have a little bit of sentimental value to me, as in I just really like the run. It's a great book if you haven't had a chance to read it. I know everyone just wants it for the value, but I enjoy it for the story as well. This is actually my 50-cent copy I found in a 50-cent bin. The other reason I'm not giving this like a high grade is I did have to peel a 50-cent sticker off of the book, and they put it right above the letters R and S. So this is one I did send to CCS to see maybe they can give it a little bit of pressing and cleaning magic, get rid of a little bit of extra like residual gunk that was barely visible on the cover. But because of that, I'm going 9.2. There weren't really too many other defects besides where that sticker was at. So I hope, they can get that off of there, and some, when they press it, hopefully, that extra moisture they put in their press, hopefully, and do the cleaning part. If they do all of that stuff, I'm really hoping that eliminates a lot of that buildup that happened when they put that sticker on there. We'll see. And then the next one, it's definitely staying in the collection. It's going in the case downstairs. The Ninja Turtles #1 third print. This is the one that cost me. It's costing me like an arm and a leg to get it graded because I did bump it up. I can't remember what the tier was I submitted this in, but it was like the second to last because I wanted to make sure they didn't hang on to this book for an eternity because the magazine size stuff, especially with the run on Turtle stuff, the run on Last Ronin especially, everybody's getting their Last Ronin variants graded too, so that's really running up the magazine time. I decided to bump it up. I think like 20% of my cost and all of the grading is going to just this one book, so I really hope I get it back within the next few months, at least by the next 3 months. It is going for a pressing, which it desperately needs. It had like 4 major ticks in it though, along with a couple other minuscule ones. I'm holding it at 7.5. I'm aiming for that mid. I really will be disappointed if it goes lower than 7.5. I'll probably be like right at what I paid for it then. But like I said, it's not going anywhere unless I decide to upgrade it eventually, which the way these costs are going on Turtle books, like I'm probably not going to upgrade anytime soon because just even in the third prints are going for wild amounts now. So I'm definitely going to hang on to this book no matter what, but I'm going to go 7.5 as my guess on that. And then the next one, we got a series of 3 books. Let me get that banner off of there. Like I said, a lot of clicking around here. We got these gorgeous Alex Ross second print Justice variants. So thought about selling these actually, but once I pulled them out of the short box to sell, started looking at them, I was just like, I got to get this set graded. They're just too gorgeous. I love me some Alex Ross. So I'm going to get the whole set graded and see what happens and what I think. If they come back high grade, I'll keep them. If they come back maybe 9.2 or I wouldn't know why they'd go lower. because they are glossy, higher grade covers, and there's not any obscene ticks on them. So I think I'm going to hold them all at 9.6. So there's issue 2. That's the Batman one. This is the one I could see going a little lower, the Superman one. I feel like there might have been a cleaning issue for this one. I'm just raw submitting these. I didn't put them in the, I didn't pay the extra $15. That would have accumulated an additional $45 of cost just to get these 3 books graded. As you can see, I left the stickers on them too. This book cost $2. This one cost $3. And then the last one, if I was going to get one graded, it would have been this next one. Issue number 5, Alex Ross drawing Captain Marvel. Maybe his best character he draws, in my opinion. Now, I'd be curious to see if anyone can say he draws a better character than Captain Marvel, a.k.a. Shazam, as they like to call him nowadays. But I think when you think Captain Marvel and you think Shazam, you think of the Alex Ross version. And of all the books and covers, this is definitely one of my top Alex Ross covers, in my opinion. So I really hope of all these, this one gets graded the highest. Let's see. Next one. This will probably be one I end up selling. The Old Guard number 1. This is an Image blind box variant. So the fact that I'm getting these graded, it's just a rarity thing. Like, there are hardly any of these Image blind box comics on the census. And for those of you who don't know what the Image blind box was, they put these blind box sets out for the 25th anniversary of Image. They had, I think, 25 comics in each of them. They happened to have 25 number 1s at the time, and each of those number 1s had a special cover dedicated to just this box. And they only made 1,000 of these boxes, I believe. So each number 1 had, I think, like 500 of the cover made with the trade dress. And I only remember the mix of the Virgin, and then they had a black and white with trade dress, black and white Virgin. So the black and white Virgin ones are the rarest. I don't even know if I've seen those. I've never seen any of those in person. But the Virgin ones, I think, are the second rarest. And therefore, like, you don't see these at all in the CGC census. The fact that I was able to pick them out of the drop-down box, I was kind of surprised. So the reason I'm giving this a 9.4 is next to the character there on the left, there is a little bit of, like, and it's not color rub because of the way they shipped it. There were just some, like, I don't know if it was just manufacturing issues. Like, some of the sketch covers I got out of my blind box have, like, a crease, like, right dead in the center of the cover. So this one actually has, like, a line break. It's not from a color breaking crease or anything like that. It's just, I think, the way the cover is printed. So I don't know how they're going to grade that, if they grade it as a color rub or anything like that, or if it's just part of the cover, they accept it for that. It's not an actual defect on the comic itself, if it's the way it's printed. I'm not sure how it's going to grade out, so I kept it at a 9.4 because of that. And then the other blind box one I'm sending is going to be God Country number 1. Obviously, this is the one I would probably have a little bit more trouble selling because I do love God Country as a read. I don't have another God Country number 1 besides this one. So if I did sell this, I'd probably at least try to get a first printing of the regular, even though that book does demand a little bit of money. It could be worse. I think it's going to be worse eventually in terms of costs on that book. But this may be one I hold on to until they do officially get something out there. I think God Country has legs as a movie eventually. So, or, you know, at least some sort of mini series, even though it's only a 6-issue run. I'm thinking this one definitely should be 9.8. I think when I unboxed it, I put it right in a bag. I've never read it. This particular copy, the way I read it, was in a hardcover and then digital later down the line. So this exact issue, or copy, I should say, went right in a bag and board as soon as I took it out of the little poly bag it came in. So I really hope this comes back 9.8 or I'm going to be disappointed. And then the next one of the main reasons I want to put together a lot of books to sell. I didn't even realize it's another one I thought about just selling on the last claim sale I was a part of. But I started looking at the book. I only paid $1 for this next book. And I started looking at it. I'm like, this is a really sharp copy. Like, it's the first appearance of Squirrel Girl. It's in a newsstand, and it's a square-bound 80-page book. So anytime you get a square-bound book, like especially a dollar bin one, they're beat up, they're bent, they're spine rolled. The way they do the staples is like indentured into the cover. Now, I'm not sending this one off to a pressing because I'm a little nervous on how they would handle a square bound press. So I decided not to because, in my opinion, it was already pretty nice the way it was. So I'm going for a home run on this one. I'm hoping 9.8. Now, if it gets 9.6, I won't be very disappointed. But honestly, if it's anything below near mint, I'm going to be disappointed because I was looking this thing up and down. I couldn't find any substantial. Chris Barrett's guessing 10. I'm really hoping this one gets near mint. This would be a great find for $1 if it comes, even if it comes back 9.6 though. Or I guess 9.4, which, like I said, I don't know why it would come back 9.4, but I'm just keeping the hopes kind of low just in case. But I have high hopes for this one. Really going for 9.8 on this. Before we got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 5 books left. I want to check in with the chat first before I keep going with those books. We got Mastodon. He says, what's the significance of the winter special? It's the first appearance of Squirrel Girl. Like I said, first Squirrel Girl. I think that one's got a lot of legs to grow to. That might be one. If it does get high grade, that may be one I sell to pay for the rest of the grading here. Because at the end of the day, I do plan on keeping a lot of these for the collection. I'm not a huge Squirrel Girl aficionado, so that may be one I use to pay off the rest of these books, like the 2 Image Blind Box ones and all of that stuff. And Chris Barrett says, how many blind boxes did you get? I only got 1, and it was a hell of a box. I got 4 sketches in it, and the rest were virgin variants. Like, they did a terrible job of mixing and matching the books. I don't know what they were thinking with them. I recommend, if you can see that, you don't see them for sale too often, but if you ever see Image Blind Boxes for sale on eBay for like, because I think they retailed for $250. That was the buy-in price. And I think I may have ended up paying $350 for mine because I had to buy it off eBay the day they came out. Like, the scalpers scooped them up because it was a 1 per store thing. So if you can get them in the $250 to $400 ballpark, I recommend just buying them just for fun. Like, just do an unboxing video, and worst case scenario, you get like the big gem in all of those is the Here's Negan #1s. Before they made it a hardcover, that was a regular printed comic in those blind boxes. And the real gem was they had a blank version of that with Charlie Adler sketches in them. So I don't know how many of those exist, maybe probably 10 or less. But that's the ones you hit the jackpot with. Those things were selling for like almost 4 figures the first day they were out. If someone found one in their blind box, they flipped it and got 4 blind boxes back, basically. So let's see where we left off here. I think, oh yeah, we got the first Riri Williams, or the cameo appearance, what have you. Invincible Iron Man #7. I think I paid like $10 for this book. I may be overgrading this one a little bit. Once again, I got it. It went right to Mylar pretty much, and I held on to it. And I was like, the way things are going with these Marvel first appearances, this will be another one of those ones that's going to pay for the whole grading lot, basically. So I'm just going to put it at a 9.6. I probably, in retrospect, should have got this pressed and cleaned first, but this was just a straight send. Maybe I'll use that as a bargaining tool in case I am presented with a 9.4 and decide to sell it. Someone can crack it, press and clean it all they want. But yeah, like I said, I'm not a huge Riri Williams guy. I like, Kamala Khan a lot better as a character from what I've read. So this would be another one of those ones that I'm going to contribute to paying for the lot. Now, the next one I'm probably going to keep unless it's an astronomical cost book, because I really do like this run. I love this character. First appearance of Dr. Aphra and her 2 murder droids and Darth Vader #3. I'm going 9.4 on this one because I did buy this as a part of a larger lot from my local shop. When I bought them, he did put there's like 15 issues he put in like 1 bag. So there was, I can't remember, I don't think I got this one pressed either. Some of the books in there did need press. They did have spine curvature issues. I don't think this was one of them in my opinion. But we'll see what CGC thinks, I suppose. So I'm aiming a little bit lower on this one at a 9.4. But this one, it's probably going to stay in the collection unless it just demands that much money. I can use this to get some of my other grails I've been looking for. Now, the next one, I'm definitely keeping it in the collection just because it's sentimental value from when I was a kid. And it's a book I always wanted as a kid and managed to obtain as an adult. That is the Wildcats Gold Edition. #1, of course. Just these Image Gold Editions. Even I almost even take Youngblood in the Gold Edition just because I just love the 90s aesthetic and gimmick. I'm going 9.8 all day on this one just because why not? I want to swing for the fences. And I really hope this one is a 9.8. I love this book. Even comes back 9.4. It's still staying in the collection. It just brings back fond memories of trying to capture all those Image #1s as a kid. Going to the antique shop, seeing them for like $4 or $5 and getting them, even though now you can get them for like $1 or less for the most part. It just brings back that time after I got done collecting Superman. These are the next books I tried to collect before, looking for Batman, X-Men, the rest of the Marvel stuff. So Wildcats, even though no one really reads or talks about Wildcats today, you still have to respect the legacy that it brought. The fact that it brought Jim Lee an Image and all the contributions Image has given to us since then. In my opinion, started here with Wildcats and, of course, Spawn and Youngblood and that stuff. Another keeper for the collection will be V for Vendetta #1. I don't know why the only reason I'm not sending Watchmen is it's still occupying a spot on my wall up there. It's like right behind the shelf, and it's definitely would be hard to get down. So it stayed up for now, so I decided to send my copy of V for Vendetta. It's a sharp quality copy. I think I paid $5 for it. I'm hoping for a 9.4. I have high hopes for this book. And I think it's the only V for Vendetta I have. I have hardcovers of this, of course. I think I even have a soft cover I've given to somebody else. So I think a 9.4 or up slab would be a great addition to the collection. Now the Mastodon has completely broken my train of thought. He is now singing the animated Wildcats theme in the chat. Gotta love it. I do want to say a special shout out to Aggressively Relaxing. What's going on, man? Chris Barrett says, I just want to know if we're getting a Tim White series. I just watched the Andre the Giant Hidden Treasures WWE show on A&E where they actually did find Tim White. Mastodon says Ice Cream Man is outside. That's one of those books like I need to send my Ice Cream Man #1. I don't know why I didn't send that one. All right, we got one more book to go, and I'm gonna stop hot dogging and grandstanding here. We're gonna get to the last book. And that's finally sending my Detective Comics 880. I've been hyping up this thing for a while, and it's in the top loader in this photo, but obviously I took it out of the top loader to send to CGC. It has one color-breaking spine tick next to Scott Snyder's name. Luckily, it's a white cover. You don't really detect it. Obviously, if CGC is good at doing their job, which apparently they are because everyone sends them books, they should see that one spine tick. So I know it's not going to be a 9.8 unless I get really lucky and they rush it through their process. So I'm aiming for a 9.6 on this one. But I love Jock. He's one of my favorite artists in the modern era. So I feel like I need to have one Jock graded piece in my collection. And what better cover than his most iconic cover? I got actually the entire Black Mirror run for $80 like 2 years ago. Once again, low ball best offer. They actually accepted instantly. Easy money on this book, but obviously I'm not going to sell it. So, yeah, that's the final book I sent. Now, the way I'm going to send my books from now on, I do want to get more stuff graded. Donnie mentioned Ice Cream Man. That's another book I want to get sent. I'm going to take some influence off, my friend Comic Man Andy. He's got a cool idea. He's basically sending 10 books a month to CGC. I think what I'm going to do, I skipped the last one, so I just sent 20 books, even though I'm doing about 10 pressed. 10 unpressed, 9 with pressing, and then the Turtles book is a whole separate thing because of the tier it went in. I think next month what I'm going to do is I'm finally going to do my first CBCS order. Now, I may do 20 books for that one as well, but the caveat with that is I think I'm going to do 10 unsigned books, and then I'm finally going to do 10 signed books so I can use the CGC verification with that. Now, that's going to add up, there are definitely books I already have planned to send, and as I get time off and such, I'm going to lock in the 10 books for that first order, and I'll definitely give you guys feedback as stuff progresses on that. So I'm really curious to see, number one, how long it takes them to verify a signature on top of maybe pressing and grading a book. But yeah, I've heard their turnaround times are obviously much better than CGC, even though their add-on times, they're getting piled on too, because people are noticing their labels are improving, their quality of slabs is improving. So I definitely want to take advantage of CBCS at some point. So that'll be where I send my next book. So like Ice Cream Man #1 will probably go there. I have Miss Marvel #1 I'm sending probably. I'll probably send my first Spider-Gwen. It's got two, actually, might have 3 signatures on that one. My NYX3 is signed by Joe Quesada. That one's going to go. I just got to take them off the wall. So my wall's starting to get holes all over the place. I need to figure that out too. So eventually, once I get, I'll probably have to take a vacation to get the stuff I'm selling out of here sorted somewhere else, get everything in here resorted, and then I'll do a 2021 room tour at the very least for you guys. But before I sign off, I want to say hi to one more of my friends in the community, and that is Fish Tropic, my first subscriber ever. What is going on, man? How you doing today? Mastodon says, I've shown the back of my daughters on multiple occasions. Every time she says, that's creepy, I want it. Ladies love the wood. And with that, once I can highlight it, we're going to go ahead and sign off. But first, definitely check out in the link below, check out my pal who gave me this phenomenal AOK, MrGretzky9966. Let's get him to 500 subscribers. So he's at like 489 or something like that. He only needs like 11 more to push him over that 500. So if you're watching this on the rewind, check out the link below for Mr. Gretzky. Sub him up. He's a great guy. He's got a great attitude, phenomenal collection, especially if you like collecting Superman books, Archies, and just those like off-the-wall type books. You will love his channel, so definitely check him out. But big thank you, guys. Thank you, Mastodon. Thank you, Chris Barrett. Thank you, Fish Tropic, and thank you, Aggressively Relaxing, for joining me for this sporadic live stream. Hopefully, I can get these frequencies back up to where they should be. It's like it's been 3 weeks since I've done anything. And my last plug, should be back this Friday night on the Comic Core. Had a great show last Friday, so check that out. Hopefully, we'll have another show this Friday if everybody can make it or enough people can make it. And then I recently got the new Ratchet & Clank on PS5, so I'm going to try to do some live streaming of that either on this channel if YouTube decides to cooperate. If not, I will take that to Twitch. That's twitch.tv/cwooder19. But until next time, guys, thank you so much. And then, dude, stand